off their mortgage. It'll take a
So
while.
you would literally have to not pay your mortgage.
You literally have to like change your number, avoid the bank at all costs, like literally try to like, deport yourself for the bank to turn around and say, hey, we're going to take your house. I know that firsthand because I've worked in the banks, right? I've seen them write off debt for clients who are trying to do the right thing but are just constantly behind. The media pushes a lot of this stuff out. And, you have a current affair, you have some, man or woman that goes there and says...
Is that unique to Australia?
And what was what unique to
in
Australia?
terms of the banks are very lenient in terms of working with you?
Yeah, look, we're all people, right?
Yeah.
There are people that are sitting there trying to help other people. The bank has a retention team for a reason. The bank has a mortgage difficulty team for a reason. If they weren't trying to help, these teams wouldn't exist because all these teams come at an expense, right? You're paying 60, 70 grand per seat. So why would you invest all this money into like a remediation or retention team if all they wanted to do was take your house from the beginning anyway, right?
Yeah.
They don't like taking people's houses. Like they wouldn't want their own house taken. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's one of the... I want to circle back to the original question, but
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting tangent here. It's really interesting how quickly we dehumanize banks and we dehumanize these large institutions, right? Because it's easy to look at St. George or ANZ or Commonwealth and go, well, these fuckers make $1 billion a year and I'm out here struggling and scrubbing away at tiles, and why should they make so much money? And they're just taking money from me every single week. And I can understand that perspective. I can understand why people feel like that, because it's not a logical perspective to have, but it's a very emotional one.
Yeah.
And I think what you just said there is really powerful in that there are human beings sitting at those seats at the end of the day. And just like in any other situation, you're going to find a good batch of people and a bad batch of people.
That's right.
And I think every institution is going to have a batch of people that are going to specialize in trying to help you and say, oh, you're in trouble. Let's try and figure out what we can do. Can we figure out some form of payment so that you don't have to lose your house?
Yes.
So I want to circle back to the original question now.
Yes.
Is that attitude unique in Australia? Because I feel like what I read and what I see in the media anyways is that the United States in particular is a lot more cutthroat. Does that hold
like
up?
I think like Australians in general have a very kind of different outlook when it comes to these things. Like as big as we are a country, compare us to America. Like, dude, we're a peanut, right?
I think LA has more people than us.
Like some of their states
Yeah.
or counties or whatever would have more people than us, right? And we're an island, dude. Like the only way you can leave here is by literally getting on a plane and going. You can't just kind of go to another state and have a whole set of rules that are completely different, for instance.
Yeah.
Like how they have different counties and, different stuff over there. I think over here, and like I've worked in the banks for a long time before I went out, became a mortgage broker, started the business and all that kind of stuff. A lot of my friends still work in banks. They're very, very, very nice people. Everyone, you can't have two different people at banks, right? You have the ones that are there to help and you have the ones that are there to collect their pay, right? No one gets joy by repossessing someone's house. Let's be real. Talk at it from a human perspective. They don't high five each other when they repossess a house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people get so caught up in, I can't, the banks are bad, or the banks are this and the banks are that. You know what? Elements of banking is bad. That's why they're spending billions and millions and God knows how much money to try to improve it, right? Internet banking, for example, that's an expensive cost to the bank.
Yeah.
How much money do they have to spend to build a platform that is easily accessible to everyone around the world?
Yeah.
Right? You wonder why they charge interest. You wonder why they charge.
If you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button. And you might also want to check out this video right here. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.